Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make fry bread, or at least my variety. There are plenty of different recipes, and if you know the history of fry bread at all, when the Native Americans were placed on reservations, they were asked by the United States government not to hunt or gather, and instead were given rations by the government, and they developed this style of bread. And you can find it as Indian tacos, but fry bread is awesome. You can put some butter or some cinnamon sugar on it. It's delicious. So let's get into how to make the recipe. For the fry bread, you're going to need evaporated milk, flour, salt, water, baking powder, and canola oil. Today I'll be making beef tacos with these toppings, but feel free to use whatever you have around the house. I'm going to start things off by browning the ground beef. Next, I'm going to get my canola oil. Now this is an electric oven, so I set both of them to 5. It goes up to 10. But pretty much you just want it like a medium-high heat. I'm going to cover the oil after I get it about 2/3 full, and we're going to let everything cook up. Break up the beef. Yes. Remember to drain the grease from the beef. I always forget. I'm reminding myself. During this time, it is a great time to prep all of your produce. Anything that's not pre-packaged, your lettuce, your onion, your tomatoes. After our produce is prepped, we're going to start making the bread. First, we're going to take 1 cup of flour, add it to our mixing bowl. And we're going to take 1 teaspoon of baking powder into the bowl. And we're going to take evaporated milk, otherwise known as dry milk. We're going to do 1 teaspoon of that. And then we're going to take a 1/4 teaspoon of salt to finish off our dry ingredients. Whoops. Let me clean that up. Alright. Now that we have it all in the bowl, we're going to take a fork and we're going to sift it all together until it's all evenly mixed. Push the dry ingredients to the side of the bowl to create like a valley. Before adding the water, I'm going to prepare my surface with some flour, which you can see me doing in the background. Once my surface is prepared, I add a 1/2 cup of water. I'm going to take my fork and I'm going to start mixing. The mixture isn't going to look perfect as it mixes together. It's going to be clumpy, but this is the kind of consistency we're going to want to see. After you've got everything mixed together and it's starting to all clump, what you're going to want to do is take it out and then make sure all the pieces are together. Get the last little crumbles and just simply get it pressed in. You don't want to knead it too much, so just make sure that all the pieces are evenly pressed in. Create yourself a nice even circle so that way you can see how big it is. Cut it in half with your hand and then 1/4 it. And you'll be able to make 4 smaller size Indian tacos. If you want larger tacos, simply just only split it in half. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to completely pat it down so that it's just slightly smaller than the thickness of my pinky, and as best of a circle as I can get. These are going to come out more oval shaped, but that's okay. Just as long as you have a general circular shape. Now make sure to always powder your surfaces. So before I put that down, a little bit of flour, and there we go. Now I'm going to make the rest of the fry bread. Try not to knead the dough too much, but you do want it nice and even. Around this time in the process, if you have a helping hand around to help you with the beef, this is really helpful. Otherwise, you really want to make sure that you're on top of your prep. Make sure you drain your beef and get it cooked up. You want your beef just almost ready. Because of the oil, I'm using paper towel just to rest the fry bread on. When we place it into the oil, we're just going to be really careful. It is going to sizzle, but it's not going to hiss and spit because it shouldn't be that hot. Oh yeah, that's satisfying. We're going to cover it back up for a couple minutes. Stir our beef. Maybe get things out of the fridge, make sure we're ready for food. And we're going to want to look for a golden edge. You can see on this one it's starting to golden, but we actually want it just a little bit crispier. So we're going to give it a couple more moments. Now here you can see we've got a nice golden color to our fry bread. This is what we'd like to see. Now, once you have one side done, the other side doesn't take too long, but that color right there, you want it to be even to what you're seeing on both sides. I may have cooked the top side a little bit too long. If your fry bread are small enough, you can add additional fry bread in. Just make sure that it doesn't stick on its way up to the top. There's a lot of beef. Alright, now we got our first fry bread done here. This one looks great. It's got a nice golden coloration. I'm just going to set it onto the paper towel for a little bit and give it a flip. Make sure it gets that oil off. I'm going to go on continuing to cook my fry bread. It only takes a couple of minutes per side, and you're going to want to look for that golden color. Now, often you're going to see like a lighter white coloration, and if most of the bread has the brown, the golden color to it, you're going to be good. But every now and then you're going to see like a lighter color in the flour where it's not frying it quite the same as the rest of the bread. And this is actually okay. You're going to see on this piece right here that I flip, that we actually have that coloration there. What we're going to do to make sure that that's okay is when it comes out, we're just going to give it a light tap and make sure that the bread is actually cooked in that area. Depending upon how many guests you have, at a certain point, it's okay to allow your guests to start making their tacos. Typically one at a time, but these smaller street kind of style Indian tacos, sometimes people go for two. completely at your discretion, and however you build it is your choice. Like I said earlier, you can just put some butter, some cinnamon sugar on it. That's just as delicious. Oh, look at that final product. Now again, you can make it bigger by simply only having the dough recipe. When you use this recipe, it will make a total of 4 of these little Indian street tacos. Yeah, if you've ever had like a chalupa from Taco Bell, similar kind of thing. Kind of a, like more of a, like the fried crust, and then doughy inside. Anyway, happy Indigenous Peoples Day. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you later.